昨季のワールドシリーズ以来の対戦となる注目のドジャース対ヤンキースが日本時間5月31日からドジャースタジアムで行われるにあたり盛り上がりを見せている米メディア。ニューヨーク地元局のニューヨークポストスポーツでは注目の対決を前に昨年のワールドシリーズ後のドジャースの選手たちのトラッシュトークについて言及しました。またロサンゼルス地元局 ESPNLA ではニューヨークスポーツラジオの司会者であるエヴァン・ロバーツ氏のドジャース批判に反応。ここからはその様子を見ていきます。
Time to take a look at next series pitching probables brought to you by Nissan. The Yankees will trot out Max Fried in the opener, then Will Warren on Saturday, TBD on Sunday against Yamamoto, who's been terrific for the Dodgers. None of these games are on Yes, but our post-game coverage is on Yes following each one of these games. Now, this series also showcases the reigning MVPs, which will be a memorable moment presented by Prevagen, made for your brain. There's two generational talents, both having fantastic seasons yet again. I mean, Judge calling it fantastic is obviously undershooting it.
Yeah, you watch their at-bats and you just understand the extreme talents that we are watching, the two of them and what they were able to do. We see every one of Judge's at-bats. I see a lot of Ohtani's at-bats because I want to make sure that I see Ohtani's at-bats, but two players who I think go out there, Ryan, with just an approach that they're going to take control of an at-bat. They're not going to let the pitcher take control of the at-bat. I think that's what makes both of them so special. We saw Judge at the beginning of his career. He expanded the zone more. He chased more. He doesn't do that anymore. And if either one of these guys gets a pitch where they can do some damage, they will do damage.
Maybe a little extra juice, too. I mean, obviously, they met in the World Series, and there's been incredible hype around these series over the last few years regardless, but they meet in the World Series. And then the aftermath of it, too, there was some chirping from the Dodgers pointing out Yankee flaws. Then Aaron Boone was willing to defend his team in the aftermath of it and kind of point out the lack of class, using my words, not his. Maybe a little extra juice going into this series?
I think that always becomes a sidebar. That always becomes part of it because it happened. It's out there. It's Joe Kelly and Kike Hernandez, so it wasn't the Dodge, it wasn't the Freddie Freeman, it wasn't Mookie Betts, and I think that was one of the things Aaron Boone said. Still, it was said, and when you lose, and you lose in the way that the Yankees lost, that stings. I made the mistake of saying to Boone recently, paraphrasing something he said after the Yankees lost, I said, you said that's going to sting for a while. He said, no, I said it's going to sting forever. So, Ryan, they're not going to erase that with this weekend series. You've got to get back to October to maybe get your ultimate revenge, but you absolutely want to make sure that you go into L.A. and have a terrific showing, and maybe these two teams do see each other again in October.
That would be fun.
All right, so I want to play something for you, and I want you to tell me your feelings after hearing this. This is Evan Roberts, who is a talk show host in New York City on WFAN, talking about the Dodgers. Of course, the Dodgers and the Yankees will play each other 3 times at Dodger Stadium this weekend. Here's Evan Roberts.
National media that takes turns saying everything about the Dodgers that makes you humanly sick. I'm sick of it. We get it. They're great. They won the World Series. Yippity-doo-dah. Everything is about the Dodgers. The Dodgers, the Dodgers, the Dodgers. And don't insult us by saying the only reason Citi Field was packed is because they played the Dodgers. It's crap. No, I can sit here and bore you with evidence that it's not true. My anger at the national media that takes turns giving back massages to everybody from Shohei Ohtani to Mookie Betts to the stupid logo on the front of their chest. I hate the Dodgers. I hate them. They are now number 1. Congratulations. This has never happened before. You're number 1 on my hate list. I hate you. I can't stand you. I want you to go down in flames. And Ohtani doesn't even pitch, but he throws batting practice, and we freak out. The guy hasn't pitched in a major league game in 2 years. Stop acting like he's a unicorn. Go pitch, and then we'll act like he's a unicorn. Go pitch. He hasn't pitched in 2 years, and we got to hear about it constantly. I hate them. And by hate, you know what I mean. Sports hate.
Sports hate them.
I sports hate them.
Joe Pesci.
A little bit, yeah.
Joe Pesci. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, I hate them. I can see how people would hate the Dodgers. I told you. Yes, I can see how people would hate the Dodgers. But you're a defending world champion. This is what comes when you win a championship. What is he talking about? It's not like we don't talk about the Yankees when they win.
Thank you.
Ad nauseum. Yes.
Thank you. That's the rub of all of this. And it's the first time I can really remember where New York had an inferiority complex about something in LA.
Yeah, it's what it sounds like, right?
It's usually the other way around. The only American city that I have had this, I'm a native Angelino, born and raised here, spent the vast majority of my life here. I think I am a pretty good representation of your average Los Angeles resident. We don't give a damn about any place else except for New York.
True.
And it's one of those, like, they got some stuff that we don't have, and it's like, yeah, okay, sometimes we will get, like, San Francisco hates LA. Most people in LA are like, yeah, San Francisco's a fun place to go visit.
Yeah.
Like, the beat LA. Sacramento's like, we don't think about you guys like that. We don't really think about you very much at all. This is the first time that I have heard a New Yorker, a Mets fan, a Yankee fan be deeply insecure about their own stuff. The reason that
you're right.
Yeah,
you're 100% right.
Because no one in the history of baseball has been talked about more than the New York Yankees.
Right?
Nobody.
Right. Movies made, books written.
They're the New
Hall
York,
of Famers.
They're the New York Yankees.
Yes.
Right. Like it's a New Yorker, and I don't know if Evan Roberts is a Mets fan or a Yankee fan. I don't know, but that level of animosity at an LA team, and yeah, the Dodgers are rich and they spend a lot of money, but they win. And they're really good, and national media talks about winners that are really good, and especially if they're from a big city.
This is true.
This is the way that it goes.
I hope,
and I love it.
I'm right there with you. I
so
never
much.
heard this coming the other way. You're exactly right. I've never heard New York be so insecure about LA.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's usually the other way around. You get sick of hearing about the Yankees. In every movie, it's either the Yankee is the star or they're the enemy at the end.
Yeah.
It's always, yes. Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right.
It put the biggest smile on my face to know that they have grown roots in New York as the team that you can't get out of your mind.
This is true.
They live rent-free.
They are living rent-free. That this is a perfect example of they're coming here, and the Dodgers were just there. And this feeling, well, we got to beat those games. It's not that. It's not what you think it is. And clearly, it's exactly what we think it is.
It is.
Because you're in your feels like that.
Of course.
You don't hate something that you're not threatened by.
No, but on this side, I would buy tickets because the Yankees are here.
Oh, heck yeah. No.
Yeah.
Great series.
So you can't discount that. They are there to see the Dodgers.
Of course they are.
Just deal with it. Yeah.
Of course they are.
Yes, they are.
You know why?
They want to see Ohtani.
They want to see Ohtani.
Yes.
I want to see Mookie Betts.
Yes.
I want to see Freddie Freeman.
Yes.
In Clayton Kershaw, or whoever it may be.
Not quite the fanfare, but same as when Messi comes to town.
Of course.
Yeah, you become a soccer fan. I want to see Messi. I want to see Ohtani.
Awesome that it is what it is. Now, the series that starts tomorrow at Dodger Stadium, it's Max Fried against Tony Gonsolin. So not exactly like a World Series rematch. Fried wasn't on the team. Neither was Gonsolin last year. So from a pitching standpoint. But the Dodgers... They were chirping a lot after the World Series. In particular, Chris Taylor and Joe Kelly had a lot to say about the Yankee
True, but they weren't wrong. They weren't wrong.
No, they weren't.
And they haven't backed down either. So
No.
Chris Taylor was asked yesterday about, his comments about the trash talking to the Yankees, even if he's not on the Dodgers anymore. He said, honestly, I don't think what I was saying anything super critical to me. He did say that they, done their leg. Pooped in their leg.
And they did.
I think if you would have asked them, they would have said the same thing. That's kind of how I feel about it. He added, I didn't mean any offense by it. Sure. To me, it was just like kind of stating a fact.
So it wasn't untrue, but it was unusual.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Is that in baseball in particular, you usually don't go out of your way to go over there and kick dirt on the guy that's down in the ground bleeding. You just say, yeah, good game, we won. And then you go celebrate over the body.
Yes.
Over there.
Towards each other.
Towards each other. This was celebrating over the body at you.
A little bit.
This was a different thing. And I can't wait to see what happens this weekend because a lot of the personnel has changed. On the Yankees, probably a little bit more than the Dodgers. But you've brought this up a few times, and it's not really the way that baseball is played a lot, but Aaron Boone is an old school guy. Aaron Boone's been around a long time. His grandfather was a major leaguer. His dad was a major leaguer.
You're talking about guys. Are you talking about guys getting hit?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming.
His brother was a major leaguer, and
Acuna just got hit, didn't he?
I would not be surprised to have, at some point in this series, a pitch that is inside, whether on purpose or not, where the batter looks out at the like, seriously, we're doing that?
Yeah.
And the tensions go up, and this is going to be salty.
How do I say this without sounding like a grotesque? I would be shocked if it didn't happen. I would be shocked with the heat that's coming off both teams and the way this thing ended and the way it's going now. I'd be shocked if it didn't happen.
Here's why I think there's a chance it doesn't happen, and it's the same reason we didn't have a nuclear war for 50 years.
Okay.
It's mutually assured destruction. I'm putting my
getting
poli-sci
tagged, right.
hat on here, right?
Yeah.
It is mad. Mutually assured destruction. If you touch Ohtani, we're going to murder Judge.
Nobody's hitting Ohtani.
And you
right.
don't want Judge to go down, and we don't want Ohtani to go down. And if you hit Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, any of these guys get touched, we're taking your guy out.
Let me put you on the spot real quick.
Yeah.
You're the opposing manager, and you got to hit somebody. Between Mookie, Ohtani, and Freeman, somebody's got to wear it for what just happened.
And I'm doing it because of what exactly?
Retaliation.
For?
One of our guys
Trash
got hit.
talking.
Trash talking, and it heats up. One of our guys got hit, intentional or not, and it was a good rib shot. He's wearing it right to the meat.
Not Ohtani.
Not Ohtani?
To flip a coin on the other two.
On the other two.
I had, by the way, I wouldn't. I would Teoscar, Kike, so because they're going to get Judge.
What if we tap Judge?
Then all bets are off.
Then all bets are off. Then everybody gets it.
Then,
so,
yeah.
I almost expected in this series.
I'm open to it.
Yeah.
I do think that the mad rules apply. Like if you hit Anthony Volpe.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or let me if they hit Max Muncy. All right, let's use that.
They hit Max.
Volpe's getting it.
Hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right in the back.
We're going to. What is it?
Appropriate response.
Yes, a proportional response to what happens.
Okay.
Yeah, you hit your fifth best guy, we'll hit your fifth best guy. Judge and Ohtani and Betts and they're off limits.
If it escalates, it escalates.
Then we're all going to die.
Okay, right. That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
But that's the way it's shaping up. And who's the guy that was on the rant there? What's his name? Do you have his name?
Evan Roberts.
Evan Roberts. I don't want to call him Joe Pesci, but that's what it sounds. I would say direct that to Aaron Judge. All that stuff you said.
And I'm sure he has.
Direct it to him.
I watched episode 2 of the Apple Plus TV series, the Road
Apple
to
TV
Glory.
Plus?
Sure. I had forgotten how bad Judge was. I knew he
in
struggled.
the whole series.
I knew he'd struggled.
Yeah.
You know how many times he struck out through games 1 and 2?
How many?
6. Eesh. He had 6 Ks through 2 games.
Not a great World Series for him. Yeah.
Awful.
Not a great World Series for him.
And he bounced back, and he has been. I mean, he's been Ruthian.
Yes.
Through the early part of this, not even the early part of the season, through the first part of this season. But I wonder if, fast forward to October, the Yankees are going to make the playoffs. The Yankees are really good. Like, is that in the back of his mind?
Of course.
Is that in the back of Yankee fans' mind?
The only way to erase that is to get back there. I don't care what you do in the regular season.
Yeah.
No one cares.
We're kind of there.
And you guys.
いかがでしたでしょうか。このチャンネルでは日本人メジャーリーガーなどを中心に野球情報をお届けしています。この動画が良かったら高評価、チャンネル登録をよろしくお願いいたします。今回も最後までご覧いただきありがとうございました。それではまた次の動画でお会いしましょう。